Hello, hope you're all well. Hope you had a good week and some good training. As I think you're about 2 weeks out from nationals now, maybe even less. It's getting close, and all the other end of season meets are coming up as well, aren't they? So I'm excited to see what kind of happens this summer. What have I been doing? I've just been in Wales, so it's annoying. I filmed an intro there, so me and Izzy went to Skomer Island, which is famous for having puffins. So we got some good photos with puffins. Izzy took all her camera equipment. She's taken a lot of photos in the past at our Manchester galas. Really high level photographer Izzy is. So took some photos of some puffins, and I'd recorded this good intro on the island with puffins in the background. It was going to be fantastic, but for whatever reason the cameras filmed it in half-time speed. It was slow mode, so pretty annoying. But yeah, never mind, eh? So I'm back at home, my mum and dad's home. Spend a couple of days seeing them, and then before I go up to Manchester, I'm with Altrincham on Sunday, just before England. You can't really see it, can you? The England flag in the window, just before the Euros final. Come on. So might be a slightly abbreviated session with Altrincham. But anyway, the video you've seen today is a full race analysis that I've done for a lad who trains at Comast, and I know he watches, so hello Harrison. He trains with our Raven Moss squad. And it's his race analysis of a 25 freestyle. So Harrison's 7 years old, and kind of the point of this video is to answer the question, who is race analysis for? And really it's for anybody who wants to improve their swimming, who's doing racing, can benefit from that, because we look at technique, we measure metrics, and anyone can benefit from that regardless of your age. So Harrison, only 7 years old, his mum and dad are very kindly given me permission to use this video how I see fit. So I thought it'd be quite nice to give like an actual example of race analysis that I've sent to a paying client. Just keep in mind that obviously I'm delivering it to a 7-year-old, so kind of the explanations and the language and the delivery is aimed at him. If you were coming in as a 25-year-old, it would obviously be different. But yeah, I hope you kind of find this interesting. If you want some race analysis, go to my website. It's www.jingramswimming.com/race analysis, and then I'll be putting up stuff as well from all these like club visits and one-to-ones and clinics and stuff, if you're interested in any of that as well. But yeah, enjoy this race analysis, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Hey up, Harrison. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for sharing your race video with me. So it's taken me a little bit of time to get this kind of analysis and this video put together. But I was racing in Rome last weekend, and we had a few days kind of going around seeing the sights. So with rubbish internet. So this is like the got back, landed today. So I'm getting this done for you because I know you're racing this weekend. So I want to give you some thoughts about your swimming. And I can't wait to hear about how you get on this weekend. So let's not mess about. Let me get up your race video and your analysis sheet. So we're going to just talk through this sheet first of all. So we've got a few things. This is a 50-meter sheet. I know you raced a 25, so that's why we don't have to worry at all about the second length here. So it's got you, obviously, the date you raced, the event, the round. So for you is the final, wasn't it, of your club champs? And we've got your time, 22.84, and then your reaction time. So that's the time from the buzzer going to your foot, the last part of your foot leaving the block. So here, 0.83. And now a lot of the kind of the analysis benefit is comparing. So I'm not too worried about 0.83. Your best sprinters in the world, like your Ben Prouds and your Dressels, Caleb Dressels, are going about 0.6. But for you, 0.8,
absolutely fine. Your start looked very good, and we'll kind of talk about that when we look at the actual race. So then we've got the laps. Obviously, we don't have a turn on our first length, so that's just blank. Um, it's a bit hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure it is 7 kicks. And then we've got your time to break out. So that's where your head just breaks the surface here at 5.63. We've got the time where your head crosses 15 meters, which is 13.77. We've then got your stroke rates. That's how fast are you moving your arms. And again, similar to the reaction time and similar to all these times, really, in that they're very specific to you. So what we'd be interested in is next year, when you race a 25 freestyle, what do these times look like? Where have you made the improvements and where, like how much? So you might have improved a bit on the breakout, but then a lot more on that second half. So that's where we can kind of look at what we've done here. And some of then, if we were to take this into your 50s and see, well, what's the difference between when you're swimming a 25 and when you're swimming a 50? Can you still swim at the same pace at the start? And then what happens? Or do you start slower and finish strong? It's kind of we can see that just from just the more and more data we see. So these times and the stroke count. So the stroke count is the average of how many strokes per minute you're swimming at. So we count a cycle as 2 strokes on front crawl. So it's from here. What's the average time over a 6-stroke span of you coming back to that right or left hand coming back in? And we got 51.4 there. So like I say, watching it, that looks like a good rate for you. It doesn't look too slow. It doesn't look like you're just spinning like a bath toy or something where you just you look pretty in control of that. So that was really good. Then we've got your total time here, which is actually the same as it up here into 22.84. And then how many strokes you did, so 29 strokes. And again, we can kind of monitor that on different races. And you don't necessarily need me to do that for you. You can, if you've got someone videoing your races, get your mum or your dad videoing your races, or just a teammate can count your strokes. And then you can see is, well, I was 29 this time, I was 20, maybe might be 27 next time or 30 next time. And you can see what differences that makes to your swimming speed. So if we have a look at your race then, so I hope that all makes sense. And if you've got any questions on that, or your mum or dad have got any questions, then please email me and I'll try and clear it up as best as I can. So here you are then, and we're going to have a look at your race. So your dive's really nice. There you get off the block nice and quick, nice hips really high. There you go. Really good underwaters there, really good. And for someone as young as you are, to be able to do underwaters like that is very unusual. So I was really impressed with that. Um, yeah, I think I remember we spoke, didn't we, at the club champs about your skills and your kind of the way you were swimming. And I remember talking to Dan saying how well you were doing with that. So I'm really happy to see that in these other races as well. You weren't just putting on a show for because I was watching you. So as you break out here, you see though this head pops up a bit, doesn't it? And then settles down. So what I'd like ideally is that head stays a bit still. As you come through that first stroke, it stays there rather than at the minute where you're coming up a bit and then having to crash back down. But that's kind of being a bit nitpicky. Another thing I quite like is if I let you get into the stroke a little bit. I like the path that your arms are coming over the water here. So you're coming up with this nice open armpit. So coming up, and then you can see your fingertips are there, and then they land, and you're landing, keeping that elbow is the last thing that enters. That bicep, this muscle here, is the last thing that enters. That's excellent. And we see that as well on this right-hand side. We have that nice open armpit coming over and in there. Really good. And it times well with the kick there. You can see how that foot's breaking the surface as that hand enters. So that's really nice. So the thing I would like to see though, and again, you're young, right? So a lot of these technique things you're gonna kind of develop as you get that bit older and even more swimming because you've not even been swimming that long, really, have you? So What I can see on this breath is when that hand comes in, you see how much of your face is out of the water there. So we've got all of this face. And of course, if that face is there, then where's your speed going? Your speed's trying to go up, isn't it? But we want our speed going forwards. So when you're in this position, you're gasping a lot of air in, but you're losing speed. And then it means you're having to swing it back round, and then you end up getting buried. So if we compare it to when you're not breathing, can you see how nicely your head stays in that position in the water? And then as we come in to take this breath, there, it's the same there until you get all that face exposed. So what I'd like to see you there is thinking about keeping one goggle in the water all the time and making that breath as fast as possible. So you're here and you're coming over and you're bang before that arm's had a chance to come over. So you're, rather than coming around, yeah, you're here. Really fast movement. And if you want a really good example, is if you go on YouTube, get your dad to show you a guy called Nathan Adrian. He was an American 100 freestyle Olympic champion. And he's, I think, the master of that really fast breath. So that's what I want you to be aspiring to. And then coming into the finish, and you hit this finish really well. Bang, hitting it really hard. And that's what we want, especially when you start doing races where they've got timing pads. We need to hit them really hard. The only other thing I'd like to say in this, coming into this finish, is your last breath is here. And here you're only about 2.5 meters away from the wall. So I would say you probably don't need that breath there. And I'd like to see you taking your last breath back out here. So when you have this breath here, where are we? Here, I'd like to see you then not breathing inside the last 5 meters. Okay, and that's quite a small change, but it can make a big difference in those close races. And that's something you can practice when you're training all the time as well. Every time you can do anything in training now on front crawl, you know to get the breath in when you see the flags, but not being too wide. You get that breath in, and then head down into the finish. And that'll help you, really well there. But overall, Harrison, really fantastic racing. Your strokes are really nice. I can tell you put a lot of work into that. So it'll be nice seeing what you can do this weekend in that 50 freestyle. Let's just go back to the sheet. So I've got a lot of my comments are here. So I've explained them hopefully pretty comprehensively in this video. But this is like for you to keep a reminder of. So things I liked: your fly kicks off the start, really nice. Your arm path over the water, excellent. And then how you finished the length, hitting the wall really hard, perfect. Really happy with that. The only things I'd like to change is you holding your breath that little bit longer going into the finish. So at least 5 meters, no breathing, which you can practice every day when you're training. And then what we said there about the head coming high on the breath and trying to keep one goggle in the water and making that sideways movement as fast as possible. But yeah, that's about it from me. Like I say, thanks for sharing with me this video. I really enjoyed looking at it, looking through it, and good luck for this weekend. See you later.